Alright, konnichiwa everyone, and welcome to episode 33 of Zero to Hero. And to kick things off, we are away at Sanfrecce Hiroshima, who, only 8 minutes in, decided to give themselves a 1-0 lead at home. It was Uzato's goal on the rebound from this header, where our goalkeeper not only should have really caught onto the ball, but you can argue that our centre-back really should have got to the rebound first. Anyways, a couple of minutes later, we had a chance where Yuma Suzuki was one-on-one with the goalkeeper. It was a bit of a tight angle, but you'd probably expect him to at least hit the target from there. A minute later, wonderful through ball from me towards Kakita, and I've still got absolutely no idea how he didn't at least, again, get this shot on target. It was starting to feel like it was potentially going to be like one of those days, so I decided to try something a little bit different, decided to try and go at it alone. Fancy footwork from yours truly, but then the last ditch tackle came in from the defender in purple. I decided to, again, try something a little bit different. Went towards a front post, headed the ball back. It's worked for us before from a corner where we win the second ball in the box, but it was saved, and then that next chance was saved, and it meant that we lost. A 1-0 loss to a team who we really shouldn't be losing against in the league, against Sanfrecce Hiroshima, given how, how tightly we're fighting for the league at the top of the table at the moment. Next up, against Al Gharafa. Second half, pretty much the first attack of the second half, we conceded. A moment of quality from the ex-Real Madrid man in Wesley Schneider, met the head of Mehdi Taremi, and basically we needed to win this game. A failure to win this game, wonderful double save there by the way, failing to win this game would basically mean that we would be out of the Asian Champions League. Whilst we'd have a higher goal difference than Al Gharafa, the rules come down to head-to-head, and we drew the first time we played against them. So, good shot from me outside the box, but unfortunately it got saved. We couldn't really create more than that going forwards. Al Gharafa got the win, so as you can see, we had a better goal difference, but they beat us once, and we've drawn against each other once. So, the head-to-head rule means that we got knocked out. But, positively, hopefully now we can focus on the league, because at least for me, individually, I want to leave Japan in the summer, or in the winter, which is the equivalent to the summer window. It's a bit confusing. So I really want to leave with some sort of silverware under my belt. So at home against Shimizu Pulse, 4 minutes in, we wanted revenge, and the deadlock was broken by none other than Leandro. And talking about Leandro, a nice ball poked through into his stride from me. It was a tight angle, wasn't able to score, but I tell you what, Nakamura was certainly able to wallop that free kick in. Lovely shot from outside the box. Goalkeeper's going to get nowhere near that. Yeah, lovely free kick, somewhat Beckham reminiscent. 56 minutes, through ball in to Leandro once again. Or it could be Pedro, I always mix them up. It was saved. We didn't have many more chances other than that. The other team really didn't create much, which meant that we won 2-0. And I know that we're missing ratings. I apologise. During editing, I sometimes forget to stick them in. And we saw one free kick in the last game, and it's free kicks galore at the moment as Hiyotake in our match against FC Tokyo in the Emperor's Cup had the deadlock broken with a free kick of his own. But it didn't take long for us, for Pedro to get the equaliser. It was it was Abe. It was Pedro Jr. who got the assist. It was lovely football, really. Great understanding between the two players to play that ball over the top, and it was a really solid finish as well. 33 minutes in, I'm not quite sure what was happening here. I managed to get a shot off in the end, but I think the angle was just a little bit too acute for me to beat the goalkeeper. Into the second half, shambolic defending, as always, unfortunately, gave FC Tokyo the lead through Diego Oliveira, who's a player who scored against us a lot in our V-Varen Nagasaki days. And if anyone in the comments can explain to me what on earth that centre-back was doing, you're a brave man. Anyhow, I was suspended for the next game. We did fortunately beat Yokohama Marinos. Prior to this game, when we beat the Yokohama Marinos, we'd have basically had 4 matches this episode and lost 3 out of the 4. So considering we're trying to gun for the league title, yeah, it pretty much sums it up. Granted, one of them was a cup game, and one of them was obviously the Asian Champions League. But anyhow, it was international duty time, and I'm going to try and keep these international games really quick and limited to the goals, unless they're like World Cup games that I'm starting or anything like that. Anyhow, Harry Kane got the first and then he got the second before Gareth Bale with a pinpoint through ball in towards the stride of none other than Ben Woodburn. So he picks the ball up, takes it back to the kickoff spot because the Welsh at home in Cardiff suddenly have a lifeline before Dele Alli's head cropped up in true Matthew Upson fashion to restore England's 2-goal lead. I got substituted on for, I think it was Ross Barkley in defensive midfield position. Look at this phenomenal ball over the top towards none other than Harry Kane. And after seeing him cock up that chance, it makes you feel like he's no longer one of our own, this lad, after missing that chance. But he then went on to create another one for his Tottenham Hotspur teammate in the form of Dele Alli, which meant the score was 4-1. And, it was going to take something special for the Welsh to try and bring it back. And Mason Holgate certainly wanted to help him. I don't know if he's got Welsh ancestry, perhaps. I mean, I'm more worried at the fact that Mason Holgate's in the England squad. No offence to Mason Holgate. But yeah, Gareth Bale scored the penalty. We won 4-2, which gave us a much-needed 3 points in the group. I only got a rating of 5.0. I'm remembering to put the ratings at this point. But it left us top of the league. Not really much I could do there in terms of the rating. The rating system can be broken a little bit sometimes. I mean, I played for 20 minutes as a defensive midfielder. Anyhow, we had to play Wales again because of the way that the fixtures obviously fell. You play everyone in your group twice, and Harry Kane returned to haunt them. I almost said something else there. Leave it up to your imagination what I almost said. And then Jadon Sancho was quick to pounce on a rebound to make it 2-0. Like the first time they played, though, England took a 2-0 lead. Gareth Bale popped up to make it 2-1. And, Harry Kane then popped up again to make it 3-1. So, nice football from the English. Eric Dyer decided to score an own goal, doing a bit of a Mason Holgate, I think we'll call it. 82nd minute, obviously, 3-2 to England. And just how we gave him a penalty first time round. This time round, Joe Gomez decides to give him a penalty. So, there's not really much to say about this. It did look like Gareth Bale went down a little bit easily, but he scored a penalty the first time we met, and, well, he was never going to miss from the spot, was he? The Welsh magician. And, in these circumstances, a point kind of means something for Wales, given how the group currently lies, so that's why they were celebrating that one. 83rd minute, both teams are really trying to push to see if they could nick the game. I certainly wanted to do that. That's why I pushed forward so much. I just about managed to skip the tackle of the Welsh left back, and then that was it. My first professional England goal, assisted as well by none other than Harry Kane. More impressed with the finish, to be honest. I wish I could finish like that in Japan. I was buzzing. It felt like I was going to be the hero, I was going to be man of the match, until Aaron Ramsey popped up with an unbelievable strike. I mean, should Jordan Pickford have done better? I don't know, you tell me in the comments below. But the way that he just struck this first time, I couldn't believe it. It meant that we had to settle with just a point, as James Collins celebrating the point. I got a rating of 8.0, so a little bit sweet and sour considering I got 5.0 the first time we played Wales. Back to London Heathrow I went to catch the first flight back to Kashima. And obviously I'd been scoring goals at Wembley and I brought some goals back with me to Japan. It was a lovely assist from Yuma Suzuki when he could have taken it himself, and it was an easy finish for myself to make it 1-0. Sagan Tosu, Fernando Torres-less now, of course. On having the best of times, shall we say, in the league. I end up giving the ball away there, and it does instigate a counter-attack. They were unlucky not to score from the point-blank header from the corner, and you'd expect Toyota to score here, but he blasted the ball wide of the target. I'm not really quite sure how or why. 1-2 link-up play between myself, and I think that's Leandro. Low cross into Yuma Suzuki. This is really our bread and butter, and it's so frustrating for me, when I'm creating so many chances, which I've done a lot this episode, and my teammates just basically waste them. Otherwise, I probably have 20 assists in the league by now. I got man of the match, though, 9.0 for me. We did drop down from first place to second place, thanks to goal difference. Vissel Kobe, given that they've no longer got Podolski, David Villa, or Iniesta, are somehow miraculously doing really, really well this season. But I'm not really quite sure they can maintain it, nor do I think they have the squad depth to be able to do it the same way we can. And you're probably getting a bit of deja vu after seeing that Shonan Belmare goal, because it was the exact same scenario where the goalkeeper doesn't catch the ball, the centre-back there doesn't react to it, and it's just an easy rebound for the striker to score. We needed to get an equaliser, and an equaliser just before half-time would have been perfect, so I decided to take matters into my own hands and grab it myself. So plenty of assists so far this episode, plenty of goals as well so far this episode. I'm not really quite sure whether I'm a playmaker or a goal scorer anymore. All I really care about is winning this Japanese league title at the moment now, especially after we're out of the Asian Champions League. Would be nice as well if England could qualify for the World Cup, because I could end up being picked, obviously, for the World Cup squad. I did have someone say in the comments it's a bit unrealistic that I've been picked for the England squad. I understand what you mean, but let's just enjoy it while we can. It's a nice bit of fun, and I'm trying to put less of a focus on, obviously, the matches in these episodes. It's just a nice little thing on the side, and a nice little thing was me poking that pass from Yuma Suzuki in just there. I actually was pressing the pass button from the person that previously had the ball because I wanted a through ball, and then it ended up being registered from Yuma Suzuki, which meant that I got my second goal of the game. It also meant I got man of the match. It was an easy tap in. I'll take it. And it's another assist for Yuma Suzuki, and that 3 points made sure we took back first place in the league, which is obviously what we were gunning to try and do. Next up at home against Jubila Iwata. It's very, very tight at the top of the league, so against these kind of lower half teams, we have to be winning these games. We have to be able to capitalise on any basically slip-up our oppositions have, otherwise they'll capitalise on the slip-ups we have, and it looked like Nakamura, putting them 1-0 up, was going to instigate one of our trademark Kashima Antler slip-ups. I'm not really quite sure how he got through so many red shirts and then scored that. Like, it's just so frustrating. Feels like sometimes we go one step forwards and 2 steps back. Good cross from me towards the header of Pedro Leon. It was a fingertip save from the Japanese goalkeeper between the sticks for Jubila Iwata, but we kept coming. You know, even a point at this stage would be decent because we did have breathing space at the top of the league behind, or in front of Vissel Kobe rather. My shot though, my finishing really needs to improve at times. Was straight at the goalkeeper. Another cross, another wasted header from Pedro Leon. Probably more suited if the gaffer had subbed on Kakita, who's bigger and better in the air. And it meant that we dropped points again. A rating of 6.5 for me. Yeah, not good all this. We can't find any form of consistency. And I think the international break also doesn't help with that respect, because, you know, you come back to Japan, you play 1 or 2 games, you can't get in a stride of anything, and then I'm back on a plane to Wembley. But you know, it's worth it when you see Mason Mount score free kicks like that, and you see Mason Mount smash shots in like that. So 2-0 against the Northern Irish thanks to Mason Mount. Marcus Rashford then fired the third one in for the English. Bearing in mind that at this point we've already qualified for the World Cup. Penalties galore from Mason Holgate once again. Kyle Lafferty, I think he plays for Rangers nowadays, scored the penalty, and that was pretty much it. There was qualification guaranteed. And, was this qualification guaranteed? Whatever. Point is, we've qualified for the World Cup. And, yeah, it was a good 3-1 win against the Northern Irish. And our final game of the World Cup qualifiers was away in Belgrade. Milivojevic, however you pronounce it, Crystal Palace fans will know. Probably with the help of some shambolic goalkeeping from Jordan Pickford. Hint, hint, Origi. Managed to score. Cross from me towards Hazard Kane in the middle of the box. We won a penalty as Sterling went down in the box, and Harry Kane stepped up to give us the lead. No, not give us the lead, sorry. To restore parity and make it 1-1. Give us the lead. I'm so used to winning some of these games or saying Harry Kane gives us the lead that I said Harry Kane gives us the lead. But anyways, talking about Harry Kane giving us the lead, what a through ball from myself to the Spurs man. And that was my second assist in a 3 Lions shirt. So you can see how much it meant to the boys. Obviously, we've qualified at this point. We've actually qualified at this point. Ignore what I said before. I'm human. I make mistakes too. So yeah, 2-1 lead against Serbia. Away to Serbia as well. It was kind of difficult to deal with all the racism coming from the crowd. Lol. Harry Kane, I was calling for it there. He should have really passed it, laid it back to me. It would have been an easy goal for me, but he decided to go for it himself, and we're finishing like that. It's quite understandable why he tries to go for it himself. Third goal of the evening for Harry Kane, showing us why he's one of our own, and why he obviously won the Golden Boot at the World Cup, last World Cup in real life. 9.0 rating for Harry Kane, 8.5 for me, so I am playing well in an English shirt, and back to London Heathrow, and back to Japan I went. I'll tell you what, all this travelling, you'd think it'd be taking its toll on me, but judging by my performances, it probably isn't. The perks of being young, I guess. So, Constadole Sapporo went 1-0 down, thanks to a nice free kick from us. Yuma Suzuki getting on the end of it to make it 1-0. Goal in the 37th minute. Basically beat all the defenders to it. Goalkeeper don't come off his line. Only going to be one outcome. And usually when I have a header on goal, you think there'd only be one outcome there as well, which is me blasting the header wide. But apparently I've scored my first professional header. So that one certainly was worthy of a celebration. It kind of looped in over the goalkeeper. And it was a pinpoint header, really. So fair play to me. And I think heading improves with some of the physical training I've been doing. So maybe I've got that to thank. When you have a 2-0 lead, though, you need to try and hold on to it rather than give the opposition a way back into the game. We did that as Fukumuri scored a free kick, but we were able to hold on to it come full time. So, 8.5 rating for me. We're currently 2 points clear at the top of the league, but there's still plenty of matches to play. Kashiwa, Reysol and Vissel Kobe hot on our tails. I'm in the team of the month for July after not getting picked in last month's team of the month. And as always, thanks for watching.